Comeback win over the Jets. Then he turned it over 4 times in an overtime loss to the Raiders. Yesterday, Hall of Famer Brett Favre had some very nice things to say about Baker. Let's take a listen.
I think he can be great. He's fun to watch. He's a playmaker. He's resilient. He's all those things. I tell you what, he's scrappy. And you know he's going to give you the best chance to win, and he's going to do it to the last whistle. The winners, they just have it. You know, some may call it cockiness, some may call it overconfidence, some may you call it whatever you want. But the winners have that little bit of air about them and how they carry themselves, and then their playmaking ability, and just how, to me, equally as important is you just see a heightened enthusiasm when that player's in the game.
I like that word, scrappy. We are joined by FS1 NFL analyst D'Angelo Hall. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am going to give the floor to Skip, though, on this one.
No.
Sometimes. I'm trying to win you over here. Do you agree with Favre?
I do, and there's part of that soundbite we didn't hear that he prefaced all this with. The guy who tipped him off to this thought was the great Ron Wolf, who built the original Packer team with Reggie White and brought Brett Favre from Atlanta that won a championship. And I know Ron Wolf, been around him. He was the greatest talent evaluator I was ever around. He really gets it. And what Brett said before, what we heard was, he was talking the other day to Ron Wolf because they keep in touch, and that Ron told him that when you're picking a quarterback, you cannot underestimate the winner intangible. That most people, they look at the combine result, the pro day result, that you have to look, is the kid made of the right stuff, whatever that winner thing is. And Baker Mayfield has that in him. And I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's going to be Brett Favre, because Brett Favre was really good, and I'm not sure.
Consecutive MVP.
Yeah, there you go. And I don't think Baker is that gifted. I just don't. He's going to be really good, but is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know. I'm stopping short of that. But to Brett's point, then, you have to look at what the intangibles are, because Baker plays on intangibles more than he plays on talent. And if you look at what he did at the University of Oklahoma in the 3 years he started there, he goes 34-6 as the starter. It's pretty good. Got them in the playoffs twice. Lost in the first round, but played very well in both games. And in those 3 years, they had awful defenses. Like he was having to overcome, even in the final year, they ranked, I think, 56th overall in defense. They were not very good, as you know, because you were covering a lot of those games. Yeah. So he had to keep overcoming that. So I missed a little bit on Patrick Mahomes because I watched a lot of games at Tech. I didn't see this coming, and maybe he'll level out. Maybe he'll come back to earth a little bit. But the Mahomes I saw at Texas Tech, they didn't play any defense either. Right. But they went 13-19 with him as the starter. Well, I didn't see great intangibles. I didn't see him be able to lift a medium talented team up to the top level of the Big 12, because they were not a top level team. Look at his record against the top teams. It wasn't very good. He went 0 for 6 against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, and then I can go down the line. So he didn't show me high winner, like contagious intangibles at Texas Tech. Well, right now he's got weapons. He's got a coach who loves him, a dynamic offensive play caller. And so is he being lifted by all that? Well, obviously the kid is extremely gifted. Patrick Mahomes is way more gifted to me than Baker Mayfield. But I still love Baker for what Brett Favre is talking about, which is that contagious, that rub-off effect. As he said, the heightened sense of enthusiasm you see when he just steps on the football field. Everybody's like, oh, we got this now. Here we go. And you guys, as highly accomplished NFL players, can say, well, that only lasts so long in your league, and maybe that is true. But I still say it's an underestimated intangible that doesn't, like with Sam Darnold, I couldn't see any of that. I saw the pro day stuff. I saw the measurables, but in the immeasurables, I don't yet see it in Sam Darnold. So that's why I said I'll take Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold.
For me, I agree with some of them, but for the most part, I'm going to say no. Because you know what confuses me is when they say, oh, he's a winner. Let me tell you who won a lot in college. Jamarcus Russell. He won a national championship. Yeah. Mark Sanchez, Joey Harrington.
Tim on Jamarcus, I can go back and show you. We don't have time to do this. But every time LSU played Florida or Tennessee or some big game, he did not play well. And he was a big interception thrower, too. But go ahead.
But they won a lot. Yeah. Most of the quarterbacks in the NFL, they won a lot. There's very few quarterbacks, Skip, that lose, especially if they go to prominent programs like an Oklahoma, like a Florida, like a Tennessee. For the most part, they're so supremely talented. That's why Mahomes at Texas Tech couldn't beat Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Texas Tech is not getting 4- and 5-star recruits. They might get 2s and 3s, but the 4 and 5, if they're gonna go somewhere, they're going to the bigger school. And it helps also if Todd Haley lets you push the ball down the field, like, you know, Baker comes in, he's throwing the ball down the field. They got Tyrod throwing jailbreak screens and swing routes out the backfield, but that's neither here nor there.
He's a game manager, right?
Yeah, when the coach, that's all the coach lets you do. But anyway, here nor there, Skip Bayless. Look, I think Baker can be good. I don't see him as Patrick Mahomes because I don't see him having the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has.
I don't think he has the physical weapons that.
No, he can't throw.
Like,
he's not arm.
No,
not like that.
Okay.
He doesn't have the ability to throw the ball like this kid can. But yeah, I think Brett sees a lot of himself in Baker Mayfield, minus the kamikaze style. And this is why he's heaping the praise and adulation. I think that has a lot to do with it, Skip. When we see someone like ourselves that's playing the game, it's natural. Oh yeah. But man, I don't think anybody thought Brett Favre would be Brett Favre when he first started out, Skip. So it's hard to definitively say what a guy's going to be. Can we at least get like 4 or 5 games in? We saw a half and we saw an entire game. The half was great. The game, not so much. So, man, we just so quick to anoint somebody.
Yeah, we always are. This day and age, we always see one big play, and wow, that guy's the next big thing, because we're always looking for that next big star. I do think Baker has a winning quality. Like Shannon said, I can't go off of what he did in college, though, because he had a great team around him. And he doesn't have that great team.
He did not have a defense. He did not.
Well, his defense, I would say, was comparable to what Cleveland's been putting out there on the field as far as overall statistics.
Well, I would have argued with you until this past Sunday.
Cleveland looked great at one point.
Where did they go? I don't know where they went.
Disappeared. But I know Ron Wolf, and I know what he puts the value on. He drafted me in Atlanta as well.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ron,
he's a really
and whenever I see Ron around, we always sit and talk about how he sees the game, how I see the game, how I see this player, how he sees this player. And it makes sense. I didn't know Ron had a part of getting Baker up, up there in Cleveland, and
not had a part of that. He was just telling Brett, that's why I love this kid, is because he's got that winner.
He was in the front office.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I need to see him do it on this level, and so absolutely what Shannon said. Brett sees himself in Baker Mayfield. He sees a kid who plays the game with such emotion and such passion and runs around and has so much fun, can go hang out with the DBs, can go hang out with the receivers, with the O-line, the D-line. When you're in a locker room, most quarterbacks don't do that. They kind of stick to their, they're more of the pretty boys. They stay over here, nice.
Hang out with the backup quarterback.
Yeah, they're not the ones going out, hanging out, having beer with you. And when you run across a guy like that, it just brings you in. You want to play for him. You want to see him do well. And I just really think that's what it comes down to. Baker is a guy who you can genuinely sit down with and have a conversation with, because he wasn't a golden boy. He was a walk-on. He had to fight and claw his way, into the national spotlight. And so that resonates with a lot of guys, because for the majority of the guys in the National Football League, we don't play those positions that gets the limelight. And for a quarterback to get the limelight but still feel like one of the guys, you never run across that. That's what makes Baker, I think, a little bit different, and that winner stigma gets thrown on him.
I think that's what made John Elway so special in our eyes, Skip, because he was a guy who he was, but in training camp, we playing cards, we're rolling dice, we're having a good time laughing and talking. He come in there and he rolled dice, play cards with us. In training camp, he's like, okay, what are you guys doing tonight? We get a night off. He come hang with us. We shooting basket, poppy shotting. He does that with us. So now we're looking at him like he could be standing doing his own thing. He with us. Or he's married, got 4 kids. We go out. Hey, I'll be there for a minute. He come hang out with us. So that does play a lot, because you don't want the quarterback. Yeah, you're the face of the franchise and they treat you differently. But we don't want you to act differently. They might treat you differently, but you better act like the rest of us.
Okay, what is Baker Mayfield made of? What do we see at the University of Oklahoma? He played, I thought, the best regular season game of the year a year ago was at Ohio State, and then what did he do? Took the flag and went to the middle of the field and stuck it in the ground. Did you love that? Did a lot of people, is that role model quality?
As
no,
a teammate, I loved it.
Okay, that's bingo. And then he gets mad at the worst team in the Big 12, the Kansas Jayhawks, because they disrespected him during the coin toss. Yep. Somebody said something to him.
He wouldn't shake his hand. Remember, you tried to shake his hand.
And there were words exchanged, too. And he's grabbing his crotch to say, okay, how about this? Yeah. Role models? No. Right. But do the NFL people say, aha, I kind of like that. Would teammates like that? Yeah, they did, right? And then what do you do before their biggest game of the year against TCU? One of the TCU kids dared to run across the back line while he was warming up on their end of the field. He just drills the TCU player in the helmet with the football. It was a good throw, too. Caught him right in the helmet. Okay? Again, he's got some stuff to his game. You know, that's what he's made of. He's going to be combative. He's going to be feisty. He's going to, if you want to go fight after the game, he'll go fight you after the game. He's that kind of kid. Okay? Do you like that? You want to play with that? Is that okay?
I do. Like Phillip Rivers a little bit. How Phillip Rivers, you're not used to seeing quarterbacks jaw back and forth. And I remember playing against Phillip. We came out together, and he was always a talker. And I'm like, man, what is this dude from NC State doing all this talking? But he kept doing it. He kept doing it. And guys on his team loved and respected him for doing that.
You?
Yeah, he would talk to anybody. He didn't care. He did not care. From the sideline to the other, you could be on the bench sitting there watching in the preseason, and Phillips jawing from sideline to sideline. Like, it was something I had never seen from the quarterback position before. But guys on his team, like I was saying, they love that about Phillip. You as an opponent, you hate it because you want to get that. You want to get him. You want to hit him. You want to hurt him. Yeah,
you're doing on the top with him,
you love him. Yeah, when you're playing with him, you love him. And that's kind of how Baker is. If you're an opponent, you hate him. You want to go. You want to hit him. You want to try to get to him, sack him, whatever, pick him off. But when you're on his team, it ain't nothing you wouldn't do for that dude.
Okay. That's some intangible I can't measure. Okay?
We can't measure it, though.
Is he 6 feet and a half inch tall? Yeah. Is he a little stocky built? I don't think he has a great body exactly, but can he escape in the pocket? Yep, he can do that. Can he make plays? Yep. I still think he has a whip of an arm. It's not Dan Marino's arm, and it's not Patrick Mahomes' arm, but it's pretty good.
Got to get him some. I mean, they got some. We'll see. They have Landry. They have Callaway. They got good running backs. So we'll see. And Joku.
Wish he had Josh Gordon. That's a whole nother story.
He had him. Josh is gone now. You know what? You always want something that's always going. You know what? At first you didn't want Dez. Now you're talking about looking at what we got. I think Dez might be pretty good. Now you want Dez back.
With the even in front. Even Dez would be better than what I have. Right? That's not saying.
Why you always do that? You had him. You didn't want him.
I didn't.
The guy always wants the girl once she's gone.
Yeah, I mean, he's desperate. Said that all day yesterday. Desperate times, desperate measures.
We got the championship of Texas on Sunday night, right?
Bragging right.
That ain't no championship. Come on, Texas.
It is.
It's a big weekend in Texas for you guys.
You ever get a case of doing it?
Probably. I'm a little shakier on this.
What you mean, probably?
I love my chances against.
Okay, well, they're going to put the do on.
Still went to the last play of the game.
Go ahead and put the do.
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Put the do.
Yeah, because in the end, if Dak has to throw it to Zeke, he will throw it to Zeke, and the game will be over.
You're going to take one play. He made one over-the-shoulder catch in 3 years.
But wouldn't it was the play of the year in pro football.
I wouldn't go that far.
It was.
You see what he's talking about?
No, think about it. You don't have any receivers, and finally, you're like a two-man offensive team, and the two just say, okay, let's just end this thing right here. I'll go line up as a wideout. I'll go line up in the slot, and I'll run a go route, and you throw it over my shoulder, and I'll catch it, and the game will be over. Am I right?
See what I said? No.
Good play.
That's a play. That's a play.
It ain't the play of the year.
Well, given the degree of difficulty, come on.
It's a routine play.
It's routine for a running back?
Yeah.
Catch it.
If you say he got hands like Le'Veon and Gurley.
I told you he's got better hands than Le'Veon.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Well, you saw it.
I saw a great thing.
He made a great play.
Huh?
But when it comes to overall, I mean, Varner moved up.
Remember, it came to that. That's all I got.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It took a historic performance from Zeke, and you kicked the game-winning field goal. You feel good about that?
Nope, I don't, honestly.
Let's see if he does it again. I'm looking forward to Sunday. D'Angelo, thanks for being here. You're going to be back a little bit later, but someone who's not afraid to speak his mind, Aaron Rodgers. Is everything okay
Here we go
with he
again.
and his head coach?
Yep.
We'll discuss next.